We're live. We're alive. Are we alive? Testing 1, 2, 3. We're alive. Okay, here we go. Today, what is today? Sunday. While some people are doing other things on Sunday, well, I'm stuck here. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, today we have Vinson, the middle son. And Vinson had to stop and get some fried chicken before he came here or agreed to come here. He had to have fried chicken. Vinson's a fried chicken expert. In fact, he wrote an offer on a KFC, and we're only about 20,000 apart on making the deal happen this week. So, but it's going to be triple net. So that's perfect because Vinson likes to do nothing.
Triple net.
A lot of people like to do nothing, I noticed lately. You, Mike Bonus, a lot of you. Make money and do nothing. So anyway, there's a brand new fried chicken place that opened up across from the studio here called Joella's Hot Chicken. What do you think, Vincent? You're an expert in fried chicken. That's how. And then don't take it out of context. It's not a racial
Let me
thing.
ask you.
They have work on Sunday, but just hire non-Christians. The Jews will work on Sunday. The Muslims will work on Sunday. Or hire people that don't have a religion. A lot of us out there. All right, are we working or what? We're good. So what are we doing here again? Oh, Vincent's eating fried chicken. What do you think of this new chicken? Big wing, big wing.
That's the biggest wing.
That's a buffalo wing. See, buffalo used to be not the sauce. I thought it was the size. You got meat for cocktail chicken strips. I don't like chicken strips. The breading's falling off of it. I don't know. Tastes pretty good.
Might be a little too.
I don't like the breading on it. Yours looks better. You always get yourself the better stuff. I like to eat meat on the bone. Steak, chicken, lamb, goat.
I want you to compare the coleslaw to KFC's.
Coleslaw, schmoslaw. You know, I don't know. I don't think it's as good as KFC.
It don't look like it is.
I haven't had Bojangles yet. Popeyes is all right, but it's spicy as hell. This coleslaw sucks. No mayo in it, no nothing. I like creamy coleslaw. New York coleslaw, baby. All right, I'm going to pass on your chicken right now because that chicken is taking a licking. All right, so what do we got now? What are we doing here? We're letting people call in.
We're calling them.
I'm calling them. Who's paying for that call? Can we call them collect? All right, so Vincent, eat your fried chicken. Go ahead. Let's get the first caller on the line. Let's get this thing cracking, baby. Come on. The speedboat races are going on today. I took the Jeep out yesterday to water car. I get pulled over by the cops. I didn't know it was a manatee slow zone. I didn't see any manatee out there. Maybe they thought I was the manatee. I don't know. But I was in the car. So I got pulled over by the cops yesterday. He first said to me, when he pulled me over in that boat he had, he says, pull up to the dock. I got to give you a citation. All right, I played it cool. Because, you know, some of these cops are cool, some of them are not. That's a fact. It's human nature. They all can't be perfect. So anyway, I said, oh, shit, all right. I pull up to the dock, and luckily there was another cop hanging out on the dock watching us fool around with the car and hanging out with a group of us. So I guess he saw that this guy was pulling me over. I pulled the car in. I went up on the road, and then he said he was going to give me a written citation. All right, well, a written citation ain't too bad. It's not against your record. It don't cost you nothing. Not a written citation, a written warning. Then it turned into just a warning. So I really appreciate that because I honestly didn't know it was a slow zone. And I thank you very much to the great police officers of Clearwater Beach. and these are the water cops.
FWC.
Anyway, so we got out of that mess, thank God, and the Jeep didn't break down, so it was actually a good day. And the night before, Vincent drove the Batmobile in the Speedboat Parade with Frank Shivers.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty
And that didn't break down, so that's good. All right, next first caller. Who do we got? What do we got? We got a caller? Oh, it's ringing.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the Ben Mallah podcast. We are here to take your call. How are you today?
Doing wonderful. How are you been?
Pretty good, pretty good. How can we help you? Maybe.
Well, I need a hotel. I need some equity, and I just want to ask you, how did your employee convince you to sell him that hotel? I guess you owner financed it for him.
What are you talking about?
On Life for Sale, in one of the episodes, you had an employee that you had sold the hotel to.
I don't recall selling a hotel to an employee. Did I? No. I don't remember anything like that. And I never own a finance because I need the money cash because if you take that paper, you got to pay tax on it. It's called boot, baby, boot. And so I don't know. You got me mixed up with somebody else. Sorry.
Well, so what's your advice on, getting into real estate where you can get into something that's got an income and you can build equity?
I mean, it's all about finding a deal. You got to get out there and find stuff that you think you can improve and make money on. You got to find something you think you can improve. A lot of the brokers will know already what you need to do to that property, because they advertise it. They'll say, okay, well, all the rents are $300 below market right now. If you buy it, you can come in, you can do a little this, you can do a little that, you can put in some tile, and you can get $300 more a month. So you got to find things that have the potential for upside. You got to get with a good broker. If you don't know real estate, you don't know how to find it like me, then use brokers. I use brokers for everything. The brokers find the deals. That's how they make their money. So, a broker will lead you in the right direction. Then you got to do your homework and make sure it's all, what they appear to be, and then try to put the deal together.
So if I want to bring Ben Mallah a deal, what am I looking for to know that it's a good deal to bring you?
It's probably got to be off
You
market.
can send in anything you want. I'll look at everything, but right now you should be worried about you. Bringing me a deal is going to make me money. You got to make money for you. You need to have somebody go out there and find you a deal so you can build your wealth and your, family empire or whatever you want to say it is. You got to get out there and find an agent, man. Don't be afraid. You'd be surprised how friendly they are and how willing they are to work with you. As long as you can show you got the money to close the deal. You go to a bank yet? You find a loan? You get pre-qualified?
Well, right now, I'm finishing my master's degree and I graduate in December, so I haven't, I'm not working right now. I'm in school, and without
What are you getting a master's in?
Credit, but
What are you getting a master's in?
liberal arts.
Liberal arts. I don't even know what that means. You're an artist? You paint?
No, it's like the humanities,
Oh, you like the art, like the autistic art.
Not exactly. It's more like, political science, philosophy,
Arts
that
of
kind of stuff.
liberals.
All right. Well, honestly, you got a lot of money and a lot of time invested in going to college. Okay? That's your base for life. Get that base, find out what kind of job you're going to get with that degree and get a good stable income coming in, and that's going to put you, at least at the base level. Then you can start looking and growing into real estate. Otherwise, you need money, you need time, you can do it in your spare time, but you need to build yourself up with a good stable income, and then you can start working on your real estate portfolio. That's my advice. How many? What do you got? 8 years in college invested?
Yeah, about that.
And what kind of work are you going to do?
Probably either work for the government or teach right now. just to get going. It's not like an accounting degree where you can just go make a big salary right off the bat.
Well, there's a lot of room in social work right now. There's a lot of demand for people in social work aspect. With all the poor, the families that got problems, and and all that stuff in the court systems. And I mean, if you can put it to use, I think that might be a good department to look for. But you got to work on getting a job. Forget a good job, graduate school, get a job, and then start worrying about real estate. Otherwise, you spend a lot of time in school. You should definitely use your degree.
Yeah, the
All right.
loans are going to pay themselves.
But I don't think you're ready. If you ain't got you got money. Unless you're sitting on a whole bunch of money. I don't see the point of going in real estate. You got a chunk of money you're sitting on.
No, I don't.
Well, then you got to get
money.
Well, you got to get yourself established. Get a job. Get your credit established. First thing is graduate school. Get a good job. All right, that's the first thing you got to do, and then you can move on to different things. But you got to have that base in life. All right, I got to go. Have a nice day.
Great advice.
It's
Good to
sensible.
talk to
It's
you, man. Thank you for
logical.
calling.
You got to use logic and sense. Real estate's great, but you got to get your life. It was different. Real estate was my life. But it's not easy to start that way. I mean, if you want to get into property management, I'm sure you can take a master's degree and go to a property management company and say, hey, I got a master's degree in liberal arts. I'm a nice guy. I'm smart. Give me a shot at something. And they'll hire you. If you want to do that, do that. Go to find the biggest property management company in your neighborhood. Go there with that master's degree and say, here, train me. They'll be happy to, believe me. And they'll pay you good money very quickly. So try that route if you really want to get into real estate. Find a company that's connected with real estate you can work for. All right, we got to go. Next caller. They hung up.
You hung up.
I didn't do nothing. And I'm not allowed to say, we got to keep the cameraman secret. We can't disclose who the cameraman is. And it's not little Ben, and it's not Aaron.
And it's not me.
Nobody wants to be known as a cameraman. The poor guy gets picked on. Okay, no answer. Let's go. Next call will be to Uber Eats to get us some real chicken, because that chicken sucks. And they're right across the street.
Brand new. They just
It's
opened
not
up.
crispy. It doesn't taste like, even Chick-fil-A's
I'm
been
not
in
worried
that
about
shit.
them competing with KFC. That's
But you
for
got to
sure.
admit, Chick-fil-A's got that weird aftertaste after a while. I think they're secretly putting something in there. I think it's holy water. They put a
Pickles.
drop of holy water because it's owned by a religious organization. What? Who is it? Somebody there? Hello, it's the Ben Mallah Life for Sale podcast, and you're here, and I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How can I help you today?
So I had a question for you.
Wake up. Come on. Let's go. The dog is barking louder than you're talking. Come on. Let's go. I'm just kidding, but come on.
Yeah, so I had a question for you.
Put the dog on, please. I'd rather talk to the dog. Maybe the dog can help us
He
here.
has no patience.
Can I hear the
Go
dog
ahead.
bark,
Say what
please?
you got to say.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so I had a question for you. So in today's market, would it be wise to even apply for a loan?
It's always a good time to apply for a loan. In today's market, it's the best time because interest rates are so low, it's like free money. So now's the best time to borrow money. It could go down even. Well, I don't know. With Trump, who knows? But right now is a great time to borrow money. Always be pre-qualified. Get in with the bank. The bank's your buddy.
It's
Go
always
to the
about-
bank.
it's
Go
always
to the
about
bank.
Finding the
Find out how much
cheapest deal.
money they'll loan you, and I'll tell you how much money you can spend. All right, go to the bank. Have a nice day.
Alrighty, thank you.
Take care.
One of your buddies. He just, I don't know.
He was either smoking something or half
Drinking from
awake
last
or
night.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on with the dog. I don't want to know. Maybe it wasn't a dog. I don't know. All right, what do we got?
Hello?
Hello, it's Ben and Vinson on the podcast. What's the name of this channel?
No
Life for
way.
Sale. How are you today?
What's up?
What's up?
Good,
What's
how's
up?
it
How can
going?
we help you? Maybe.
So, did you see my question?
What's this
Or
question?
Am I supposed to repeat it?
We're on low
Basically,
budget.
I ha-
Repeat it.
Repeat it. Let's
Repeat
do
it.
All right. I got a duplex in Newport Richey. I got it about a year ago for $99. I have it under contract for sale right now, but I don't know how strong the buyer is yet. It just started, but it's worth about $150. should I refi if this doesn't go through, or should I continue and try and sell it? The property does make money. My mortgage on it is like $790, and I can rent both units out for like $750.
You can or you are right now?
What?
Are the units rented right now, or
They're not rented right now at this moment.
so you have an
I got
empty
rid of the
duplex?
tenants. They were basically kind of like beat up a little bit, and I went in and made them really nice.
How long have you owned it?
1 year.
1 year? You still fooling around that place? A duplex? All right, very
With the
good.
tenants in it, it's worth
Hey,
more.
You know,
it's
you made
worth.
50 grand in 1 year. All right,
Yeah,
so,
you know what? I had tenants in it before, but this time around, I wanted to go through Section 8. I do property management. My mom's has a real estate company and a mortgage company, so
Yeah, because
I
in
think I know this kid.
Newport Richie, Section 8's paying
I
pretty much
actually have my
market
real
rent
estate
anyway,
license
so.
too.
So put some tenants in there and sell it to an investor.
does your buyer want it vacant?
Huh?
The buyer you have right now for 150. Do they
They
want?
actually want me to rent it. They're gonna allow me to.
They
do
want
the
you to
property
rent it.
management on it. They're gonna allow me to do property management on it and collect 10%.
All right, so here you go. Hurry up and get the tenants in there. Advertise on Go Section 8 if you want. Go to the housing authority. Get two good. How many How many bedrooms are the units?
One's a 2-bed, 1-bath. The other one's a 1-bed, 1-bath.
Well,
And
try to
they're
get
not-
a,
they
maybe
don't
you get a
have a
good
shared
senior.
wall.
Hey,
They
try
don't have
to.
a shared wall.
They have a shared wall.
They
Yeah, they have
don't
one
have
wall
a
down
shared
the
wall.
middle.
They're separate units.
Right, yeah, 2 units, 2 powers, 2 electric meters, 2 everything, right?
Yeah, but you know how they're connected?
Attached.
shared
Yeah, they got a
wall in the
wall in
middle.
between. You got 2 doors and a wall in between.
This duplex does not have that wall. They're actually separate. There's like a
Separate
sidewalk
buildings?
that goes in between them. Huh?
There's a what that goes in between them?
A sidewalk? Like they're
Oh,
not
a sidewalk. So it's two buildings.
It's like the ones I would like.
That's
that
even
you don't
better.
like.
So it's 2 single
Yeah.
units. All right, great,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, they're like 2 little apartments.
All right, so listen,
he needs
you know,
to rent them
you-
out.
you already
He
know
needs
what
to
to
just
do.
rent them out and make the deal happen.
Hurry up, get them
I mean,
ready,
you can
get
go
that
to-
money coming in.
Because you gotta, you gotta hurry up too. Because Section 8 takes forever.
No,
They gotta come out and inspect it. They still have to do all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I've
has to get
done
approved
Section 8
to
for,
even have
for
it.
like other people through the property management, so I know it a little bit, but I've never done it with my personal property.
Well, it doesn't
But,
matter. That's how you start. You do other people's work like I did, then you do your own. Hurry up, put it on Go Section 8, find the best 2 tenants you can put in there, negotiate the highest rent you can get at a housing authority, and get that thing rented and get that money coming in. And then if you want to flip it for instead of making $100 a month or $200 a month, go ahead and flip it to this guy. You owned it over a year, so flip it over to them, make 50 grand, and call it a day. And that 50 grand, even if you don't reinvest it, which you should, will only cost you 10. So you owe the government 10, you keep 40 in your pocket, or do a 1031 and go find another one. Listen, Newport Richie's is a lot of. If you can manage it, I don't go to Newport Richie's too far away from me right now, and but there's some deals there. All right, but it's management intense because let's face it, we all know who lives in Newport Richie. I had a property in Holiday. Vincent ran a building in Holiday.
I lived in Holiday.
And it ain't no
at
friggin'
that
Holiday,
building.
believe me. Everybody's doing that damn oxycontin
I
crap.
lived right off of US 19 in Holiday.
But anyway, no, Newport Richie's getting better. It's connecting to Tampa, and things are getting better there. And if you're in that area, hurry up, fill
Something
that damn
for-
unit,
you can find
rent it
something
out,
cheap.
sell it, and turn
All
it
right.
around. And if the
All right,
buyer
so
doesn't
dump it.
come through,
Dump it.
yes, you can refinance it because all you're doing is putting the money in your pocket now instead of later.
Yeah, if it falls through, should I refi or just?
If
should
you don't,
keep
yeah,
trying
I
to dump
would.
it?
I would because interest rates are so low right now that it's
Yeah.
like, and then it's all you're doing by refinancing is putting the money in your pocket now. All right,
Yeah.
instead of later. All right, so if you want money in your pocket now, go out and refinance it. All right, have a
Okay.
great day and good luck to you.
Hey, wait. Well,
What?
one last quick question about the Section 8 on charging. Okay, so I checked the max that I can charge. It was $890 for the 1 bedroom and $1090
That's
for
all
the
you're
2
getting.
bedroom.
Wait, but make
Should I
sure.
try and should I max it? Should I try and hit $890? Because right now I have it rented for, I have it advertised for $799.
Okay, listen.
Break
The
it
way
down.
it works with Section 8 is this. All right,
That
number
number-
one, that $890 might include all the utilities. It's a different
Okay.
type of program. You should definitely go to the owner's meeting or the owner's briefing. They have a
Okay.
every housing authority gives you a little class on how to be an owner.
Okay.
You definitely so basically you ask for the world, and then you take what they give you. I mean, you always ask for more. You can always come down, but you can't go up. So ask for the
Okay.
890, and they'll come out there and say, this place looks all right, but we're only going to give you 800. Thanks. Sign on the dotted line. You can negotiate with Section 8. They're going to pay you based on the other units in the neighborhood. They're going to look at the condition of the unit.
Said he fixed it up, so
Make
it
sure
should
it
be
passes
nice.
inspection. Make sure you got your smoke detectors working, and everything you need. But go get an owner's packet from the Housing Authority if you've never rented a Section 8 before.
Okay.
All right. Have a
Cool.
great
All
time
right,
and good
thank
luck.
you.
Enjoy that 50 grand you made, baby. But don't go on the. Oh, wait. You're lucky. The casino boat is no longer in Newport Richie, right?
No.
It burnt
No,
down?
it's still here. They're still kicking.
All right. Don't
somehow.
go to the casino boat with that 50 grand. All right. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I mean, he's already pretty much done. So
Yeah,
you
you
just got to
just
make the deal
put the
happen. Put
tenants
the
in
damn
there,
tenants in
sell
there.
it,
I used to go out.
refinance.
I used to do some other things and go out and put the picket signs out and everything to get tenants in. I mean, all up and down 19.
We still do.
I mean, you
Paulie does
pick
it
an
all
area,
over all
yeah.
these crazy areas we're in.
just got to
still
pick
go
them
out
up.
the-
You either got
what
to
are they,
pick them up the
$1
next day,
signs?
or code enforcement will give you a ticket or a fine or something. So,
You just said you did something that was wrong.
what do you want me to do?
You
Not
do
say
whatever it
anything at all?
takes. You do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. You better rent those units and make that deal.
Every day those units are sitting empty, he's losing money.
Exactly.
$1,500 a month is $50 a day. $50 a day is a lot of money. Shit, some people don't make that. You don't even make that. Hello, how are you today? You're at the Vinson and Ben podcast on a Sunday.
Hey, Ben. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. How can we help you, or try to?
Yeah. So I basically inherited a rental property of my father's, and sadly he's ill, but I'm working on fixing the house up. It's an up-and-coming neighborhood that's being like pretty much gentrified in Philly, and they built like a $300,000 property right next to mine, and I'm looking to fix this one up. But one of the hard things for me is to find a contractor who basically, will do work at a reasonable price, and or also, replies back and says, yeah, I'm going to do this work for you. It seems like a lot of the contractors are busy, and I'm just trying to find one that's, will commit to the project, but I was wondering what advice you might have around that.
I can just tell you from my experience. There was a guy named Rowdy that worked for me. And Rowdy had a lot of issues, but he got the job done. And I saw how he got the job done. He would just sit down and he would go on Craigslist and he would start calling people and he'd meet them. He'd say, okay, this is the job I got, okay? And then he'd meet the guy. The guy would tell him what he can do, how much it's going to cost him. It's a process you got to go through, weeding out the guys you feel comfortable with, the guys that have references. It's a process. It's hard to find a good contractor, but you got to get to know the contractor because you trust them with your property. So you want to make sure you don't give it to some screw up or some, guys are going to rip you off. We had a lot of success on Craigslist, and you find guys that are out there working for themselves. They normally give you a better price than a big shot company, but you got to meet several of them, and you got to explain exactly what you want them to do, and they got to be able to exactly give you a nice bid on what it's going to cost, how much it's going to cost you, and what the process is going to be, and always hold money back until the job is done. All right?
Yeah, the way I was planning to structure my contract.
You need to pull
maybe
permits?
I'm sure that's how you
You need to pull permits?
maybe.
All right, you don't want to get busted not doing work without permits. So, find a guy that can pretty much, you feel comfortable, that knows what he needs a permit for, what he doesn't need a permit for. And, you got to feel comfortable because you're pretty much going into business with this guy. You're bringing him in to help improve your property so you can sell it. So it's real important. But try Craigslist or Angie's List. Angie's List I don't know much about, but Craigslist I know you'll find regular people in the neighborhood that you pretty much are just out there trying to make a living. All right?
Right. Now, quick question. One more question. When you structure your contracts for your contractors, do you ever do like an evaluation phase where you say, hey, you only do this part of the project, and then you like gauge how well they did the work, and then you continue on?
I do things the old-fashioned way. I tell a guy, listen, comes over here, I want you to rip this tub out and put a bathroom shower in and change the vanity and change the toilet and make this bathroom. And I want you to do all this stuff to this bathroom. And he gives me a price. He writes it up on a piece of paper. And if I agree to the price, we do the job. I don't know. Contracts are more when you get into a big when you deal with a contract, that means you're hiring a GC. The GC is going to basically get a contract with you. He's going to hire out the plumbers, the electricians. He's going to sub everything out, and you can go that route. You're going to pay more because the GC is going to charge 20% over everything, and then he'll sneak in ways of making money off you on materials and things like that. But it depends on the route you want to go. I mean, if it's a contract, you better read the contract. You better make sure he's got some dates in there that he has to perform by, or else he gets penalized. You got to make sure that everything's in there, and make sure he's got insurance and covers your ass, and and do a check on his license. I don't know. I kind of still do things the old-fashioned way. There's guys with licenses on Craigslist too. But I mean, if it's just a house, unless you just want to say, all right, you handle the whole thing, then yeah, you use a GC if you want to do that. But you definitely try Craigslist first. You might find some good people on there.
Do you think? Also, I'm sorry, one more question. The house is right around the neighborhood, or around the corner from Temple University in Philadelphia. Would you say college students would be a good approach?
How many bedrooms?
Rent it out by rooms.
How many?
Two bedrooms, but the one you have to go to the one bedroom to get to the restroom.
And how close are you to the college? Are you within a mile?
Less than a mile.
Less than a mile. So,
I mean, is there a need for it? Is there a demand for it?
I have to assess that.
I don't know. How much? What do you want to do? You want to sell this house? Or you want to rent this house out and keep it?
I want to rent it.
You want to rent it and keep it, right?
Then
if it's only a 2-bedroom, the numbers really don't work with student housing unless you got 3 or more. If you got 2-bedroom, 2 students, it's the same money probably as you get from one single person. But maybe you can rent it to a teacher, or somebody else, in that area or connected to the university. So maybe you can advertise the house at the university and see who calls you. Maybe some students will call you. Maybe 4 students might want to team up and 2 each have a bedroom. I don't know. But don't, market it any way you can if you're going to rent it. Put it on forrent.com or something, I don't know, whatever. Put it on Craigslist. But definitely hit the school with a flyer. Make a nice picture of it. Put your number on there. Description of the house. But first you got to get it fixed up, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, well, go get on Craigslist today and start looking for some people, but interview them first and get bids from people before you just settle on somebody. And check references. You always want to check references, okay?
Okay.
If a guy ain't got no references, then I'd stay away from him.
Okay.
All right, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Get more bids.
Bye.
How was your chicken? Wasn't that good?
Eat it. Any sense? I don't want it. I gotta put it back in the oven. It's not crispy.
Microwave it. Vincent refuses to use a microwave.
I refuse to use a microwave.
Why?
It's
you were raised on. I cooked all your food. When you were a kid, I cooked all your food in the microwave.
And that's why
you want a hot dog? I put a hot dog in the microwave. It come out all shriveled up and wrinkled up.
Bologna.
Bologna in a microwave.
Probably why I don't eat it. I just don't. I got a little oven.
I used to make your top ramen in a microwave. Everything we ate was in a microwave.
The little Obama
in fact,
oven.
we gave the stove away to the tenant. Your brother remembers. The tenant needed a stove in our apartment building. Mark was so cheap he wouldn't give me stoves. I'd give him my stove, and I'd live out of a microwave in my apartment in Oakland. And you live out of a microwave. But you got to admit, it makes the best damn popcorn, baby. All right, who do we got? Hello, how are you today? It's the podcast. Are you there? Up, it's ringing, baby. Ring-a-ding-ding.
My man Ben.
Hey, how the hell are ya? We got you live. You're alive today.
I'm in Vegas putting it on Life for Sale.
You're in Vegas?
That's
my God, a high roller in Vegas. All right, what do you got? What you doing? Hey, listen to this. Vincent, it's funny you mentioned Vegas. All right, I'm just going to tell you a quick story first. We're out looking for a replacement property. We're trying to find a deal to replace the Marriott. And Vincent says he comes up with the Walgreens on the Vegas Strip.
Next to MGM.
And they want $40 million. They only paid $30 million 3 months ago. And Walgreens themselves are trying to sell it for $40 million on the Strip at about a 5 cap. What do you think?
Wow, well, smart flip for them, huh?
Yeah, but I wonder if they'll take 32 or something. What do you think about that? You know the Walgreens I'm talking about? It's near the, what is it near, Vincent?
It's in the It's in the what's that plaza? The
Yeah,
mall.
the International Plaza.
The mall.
The
No,
mall that you got there or whatever. What's the name of the mall you got on the strip?
Gosh, I'm clueless myself.
You
I
don't,
come
let
here
me
to
let me
visit.
guess. You live in Las Vegas, but you don't go to casinos, right?
But no. But hey, Ben,
I thought everybody
I
in
can
Las
tell you,
Vegas
I
goes to
think
casino.
if you go in for 32, I think they're breaking even on that. You might have to go at least 33 to give them a little bit of profit.
All right. Well, how can we help you today? Or try to?
All right, yes, Ben, I'm curious. That's actually interesting. You started with the hotel story because I make great money buying singles and small deals, but there's a limit. You know, at some point you get to 20, 30 of these deals, what I call wedge deals, buying in below market. There's a limit to how many of these you can do and how many of these you can manage. At what point in your life did you transition from doing these duplexes, the singles, to the hotel leering, and what sort of spawned that transition?
So you're talking about going from small to large?
Yeah, especially like you're flipping hotels. It's something that I've always been inspired by doing myself, seeing, you know, a Holiday Inn come in and flip something from that crappy hotel that it was to what it can be.
So one of his first deals was on the beach, right? Your first hotel
What
deal.
are you talking about?
He's saying, how did you start in the hotel business with smaller?
Oh, yeah.
how'd
It
you
started
get-
with a small hotel because we didn't know nothing about the hotel business.
So always
But
start
what are you
small.
doing right now? Who is this? Meet Kevin? This is Kevin.
Oh, we got a celebrity
All right,
on the
this is
line.
Kevin,
We
yeah.
got a
This is
celebrity on the line.
Kevin.
Oh,
Didn't I see you on
Ring some
American
cowbells
Greed?
for him or
Weren't you
something.
on the American Greed thing about flipping properties in Las Vegas? Was that you?
No.
But you know what I'm
not
talking
that Kevin.
about?
That's a different Kevin.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There was a
I
great
know what you're
episode.
talking about.
There was a great episode on American Greed this week about a guy that the hard money lender, he kept giving him money to buy real estate because he was known for it, and he had a TV show. But he wasn't buying real estate. He got like $30 million out of this hard money lender. It's crazy. You should watch the American Greed episode. It just came out. But anyway, so you're flipping stuff. What are you buying? The auction house, or what are you doing? You buying them
No,
foreclosures?
actually, I would say 90% of the deals are just great opportunities that hit the MLS that other people, flippers write offers on. But flippers have to write in such a high margin that it's easy for me to buy something a little bit more than what a flipper's paying for it, and then I rent it out. For example, this year, and I'm only 27, just an example though, this year I bought 3 properties. Just an example of one would be a $450,000 purchase, put 50 grand in, appraises for 600. I got 3 of those this year. So to me, it's almost sometimes like it feels like I'm shooting fish in the barrel, but then also because I've been doing this for 10 years, sometimes I get bored and I'm like, I want to flip a hotel. I want to do a syndication. Like, what's next? I keep telling myself, Kevin, what's next? And I love what you're doing, by the way, with the family wealth. That's my vision. I have 2 sons. I want to grow them up in real estate as well.
Well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, keep doing what you're doing to keep the money coming in. All right? Don't stop doing what you're doing, but you're going to have to find some time to start exploring bigger assets. Vegas, I don't know much about Vegas. That was my choice to either go there or Florida. Thank God I picked Florida. Or else Vincent would be,
I'm
sitting in a
just
casino
on,
right now pissing all my money away.
Yeah, I'm just on a trip out here. I actually live in Ventura, California.
Oh, Ventura.
I mean, the biggest thing with the hotel business that I've seen so far is
It's not like
more
real
than-
estate.
you have to have location. I mean, people say it all the time, but with hotels is the number one thing for me is location, location, location. Apartments, you can probably even get them, somewhere out in the boondocks a little bit, but I mean, because that's guaranteed money. But
Listen, why do you want to be in a hotel business? The hotel business, you have to work your ass off.
like you did, he wanted his.
I did.
he
I
wanted
found people like you
come
to work
over.
their ass off. You sure?
It's actually funny you say that because hotels are essentially nothing but employees. And I understand the downsides of having many employees,
Listen,
especially in an expensive state like California where taxes are through the roof.
You can run 100 apartments with 2 people, one on the inside, one on the outside. You can run 100 hotel rooms with
40 to 50.
take about 30 people or something with the housekeepers at the front desk, and then if you got a restaurant, listen, why don't you go try? You can't try to find multifamily where it's pretty much simple. You rent them the apartment, and that's the end of it.
Good point. Why do you do the hotel?
I did it only because
market.
The girl in the family I raised like my daughter, my sister-in-law, she got her master's in hotel management. She didn't want to do apartments like my boys. So she went to school for it. She showed a strong interest in it. We took her professor with us to make sure we don't screw up, and it just worked out to be really good. Between her and this great guy that we got happy working for us, we were able to grow, but only because we had people that knew how to run it. It's a very hard business to run. It's a 24-hour operation, so I would try to look into multifamily if you could first. And try to start growing with apartments, because then you can grow. You find yourself a fourplex, you find yourself a sixplex. Otherwise, you got to go out and raise big money from strangers. I mean, try to work. Can you work with the money you got and try to do it on your own?
That's your recommendation, is stick to doing it yourself rather than kind of doing
And just try to find bigger deals. Go on LoopNet. Talk to all the brokers that sell commercial property.
Now, what's your take on this? Another issue that we find in California, at least, is it's easy for me to find an under market value single family, maybe a duplex, triplex. Once I start looking at 16, 20, 30 units, not only is the cost per unit, $300,000-$400,000 per door, and the cap rates are somewhere around, 4%.
Forget about it. It's no deal then. Then you don't buy it. You're only looking for a value add like you are with the houses. Let me tell you something. Let me ask you this. How many houses are you flipping a year?
I actually don't flip them. I keep them as rental.
Is that where the money's at?
Oh, well, to me, the way I do it is...
How much cash flow does each house bring you? On average, what each house bring you cash flow?
Well, to me, out here in California, it's a little bit more of a value play. Where if I buy it for $450, it's worth $600.
But you're not cashing in on the value.
Go buy another deal.
But you're not cashing in on the value. What do? You refinance it or what? How do you get money in your pocket?
Yeah, exactly. Either refinance, credit lines, hard money, and then pay off my credit lines over time.
How many houses you doing? How many houses you buying right now, a year or a month?
This year, I bought just a little over $2 million, and that's
but in California, it's only 3 houses.
It's 3 houses, exactly. Yep.
How much did you spend on 3 houses?
A little over $2 million.
$2 million on 3 houses.
California.
That's big money, man. You're a high roller. You should be in Vegas because you got balls. You got guts to be buying houses. Those houses are about $700 apiece.
So here's a good one for you. How do you find value add multifamily beyond? Because I every single day I find the loop nets. I'm looking on the MLS, everything. What's interesting is it seems like for every one multifamily fixer deal or something that comes up, there are 50 singles that come up. It's such a massive disparity.
Yeah. I mean, it's all, really you got to know the brokers. If you want to get in commercial real estate, there's brokers that pretty much control the market. The stuff that goes to LoopNet, I don't want to say it's true. A lot of people say things go to LoopNet to die. But that's not true.
That's
you know
why?
You know why that's good for me? Because when they're dead, that's when I want them. That's when I want to come in and say, hey, you know what? You couldn't get that price from the whole market. Here you are dying on LoopNet, baby. Here's my offer. And you'll find stuff that really is value add sometimes. So, you got to look at everything. To me, it's you got to be everywhere. But, I mean, if you're making money on those houses, then keep doing it. But why don't you Why don't you double what you're doing now? If you made – how much profit was in there? How much equity was in that $2 million purchase?
Probably somewhere around $400,000.
Then why don't you double that, do 6 houses, then you'll have $800,000 in equity. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you know what you're doing.
Right?
Every time I try to do something
find
different, I end up screwing up. Stick to what you know.
What,
If you're making money, get to the point where you feel you can't make any more money in that business. Even if you have to hire somebody to help you or whatever, if you can do 10 houses a year or 20 houses a year, imagine the money you'll be making.
That's a good point.
And the houses that you have a very big market to the houses that you're working with, because the average people that have a good salary want that price range of house. You're hitting the masses, so you're really smart. If you're buying that kind of house in California, $700,000, that's probably what the people that have real double incomes buy. So you're doing good. Just do more.
Last question. Your take on syndication and investing other people's money.
I never do.
He doesn't work well with others.
I don't work well with all those others. And, I made guys millionaires, and they all stab me in the back. Luckily, I don't need anybody else's money. I don't want to be that big. I'm big enough. I'm about 328 pounds now. I don't need to get any bigger. It's a route to go, and a lot of guys make a lot of money at it, but it gets very complicated. Then you got to worry about, the rules, the laws. So much when you do things for yourself, you're like free, and as long as you don't, do nothing stupid, you're all right, and you have a lawyer. But I'd be real careful of giving my money to a syndication or starting one, But if you're doing good on your own, try to double what you're doing.
But if you do want to get into more units, you got to go out of the city a little bit for, the multifamily deals. If it's too high,
Right.
where you're living at, you're not going to be able to drive even an hour away. I remember he used to drive 2 hours away to get to apartment complexes just because, the price, you're almost getting the same much as, rent, but just because you're in a different county, you're getting the deal for $110 a door instead
Go
of
to
$210
Oxnard. How about Oxnard? Is Oxnard, California near you?
Yeah. So Oxnard's actually within 15 minutes of where I am.
How the prices there?
The thing is, I have this little rule. This sounds terrible. I have this rule where I'm just gonna say it. I have this rule where if I don't want to live in the area, I won't invest there. That's just my
that's
rule.
fine.
And
Hey,
there
you
are
know
just
what?
certain
I got the
parts
same. I got the same rule, but I can't always follow it. That's the problem in the market. Too big. I need something
I love
smaller.
that answer. Good answer. Well, Ben, thank you
All
so
right,
much
have
for
a
your
great
time.
day.
If you're ever interested, I'm coming to Clearwater. I'd love to collab with you.
All right, stop by the Clearwater Beach Hotel. We are right on the Strip.
All right, thank
It's
you.
the hotel with the dolphins, and ask for me.
Deal.
I'll tell them.
All right.
I'll tell them if you ask for me, they'll call me up.
All right, will do.
What are you doing in Clearwater? Come here, stealing our deals, goddammit.
I want to own Tampa, baby.
Shit.
I think
Stay
it's
in
a great
Ventura
market.
with all the big shot Californians. All right, next call.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bada boom. Bada bing. Bada boom.
You got celebrities calling you now.
Was he a celebrity? No, he wasn't. Why
Yes,
would
meet
he-
Kevin from the other real estate shows. He's a real estate
So
person.
he goes on the interview saying he's a big shot.
but he's
not really a big
nicer,
shot.
so people like him a little more.
Nice
nicer than you.
Slice. There's not one
No,
bottle
get
of
him water.
Give
He
me that
don't need no
Gatorade.
damn
Zero
sugar.
Gatorade right
No 0 calorie.
You don't tell
Drink
me
some
what to
goddamn
do.
water.
Goddamn kid, tell me I should change
Big
your
ass.
diapers.
You know what happens to whales when they
I
don't have
changed
water?
your diapers, and now you're going to tell me what to do?
Who's gonna change your diapers when you get too
Zero.
old?
They ain't got no sugar in them. Ashtray.
No, stop getting him that. You're feeding him
And
poison.
zero, baby.
Trying to poison him.
Yeah.
Man, Jesus
All right, you're
Christ.
sitting there feeding me fried chicken, and they're trying to poison me
Water.
with a diet drink. Yeah.
You,
All right, what do
you
you got?
begged me to go get some fried
You
chicken.
got anybody
You
else
said,
calling, or are we done? Nobody else wants to talk today.
You said show
Everybody's
up.
out having a good time on a Sunday.
If I didn't show up with food, I probably wouldn't even.
I got to
be-
go over and look at the shopping center today, Apollo Beach. I got to go look at
Apollo
something.
Beach.
I
That's
know. What do you want me
way
to do?
too far away.
It's on the other side of Tampa. What do you want me to do? It ain't
That's
nothing around
like
here.
Sun City. That's like the middle of nowhere.
You should go to camp
Retirementville.
there.
It's Retirementville.
All right, you got nobody else? Last one. That's it? Nobody else? I got a
Is
couple
this Ben
hours.
Mallah?
No, this is Ben Mallah. This is Ben Mallah. Ben Mallah, how are you? I always wanted to
Mallah.
meet you. How you doing?
Hey, good.
Hey. How's it going?
Good. I'm gonna get right into my question.
Get into it.
My name is Nick. I'm 28 years old. I'm based out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I currently own about 53 residential units and about 300,000 square foot of industrial space. And my question is, I'm selling one of my industrial properties next month. I'm going to show about $400K in capital gains, so I got to do an exchange. Should I be looking, for right around the $2 million mark, or should I be a little more conservative and put maybe like 30% down? And also, should I be looking for a value-add property or something that's already stabilized?
All right, so you're selling something that's 53,000 square feet industrial property in Pennsylvania. Is that what you said?
No, it's about 30,000 square feet. I
Oh, it
own
says
about
53.
300,000 square feet of industrial space, though.
You what? You own or you know?
Owns 30,000
Yeah,
right
I
now.
own.
Oh, you own. So you're heavy
I mean,
in industrial.
300,000.
You're heavy in
That's my
industrial.
that's my portfolio. But I'm
Yeah, I
selling
don't know
one of the
industrial,
buildings,
but
which is a
yeah. I mean, what about So, and you're selling a piece of it off, 30,000 of it,
Yes.
and you're gonna have
it's one of the
$400,000 worth of gain. So, but
Yeah.
the point is, on that, how much is the sales price?
585. So I owe like 200 or like 185.
All right, is it financed?
Yes, it's financed, but I'm selling it to a tenant, so I'm not using any realtors, so I don't be paying any of that commission. So it's, minimal closing costs.
Yeah, but you got to pay off a loan of how much?
185.
All right, you got to pay off a loan of 185. Da-dum, bada-boom, bada-bing. So the point is now, you want to use up all that 400 grand. All right, you got to use that up first, and then you can always try to refi down the road. But for right now, you got to use up that 400 grand. So, it's up to you. I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, but Pennsylvania has better cap rates than anywhere else I see in the country. Every time. Why is that? What's going on in Pennsylvania that's not so good
What's
that
under
the
the
cap
ground?
rates are higher?
I don't know. I'm in Harrisburg, so it's the capital. It's it's the fastest growing county in Pennsylvania. But I honestly, I don't know. I honestly can't
I mean,
tell
it's
you.
up to you. I mean, if
I'm
you're
not
doing,
complaining.
you gotta, you can't really pick deals in this type of market. You got to go out and find the best deal. I mean, if you can find value add, at least you got a chance to keep making more money. If you want to just park the goddamn money in a cap rate and sit back and collect a check, with that 400 grand, you can borrow up to $1.6 million.
Yeah. Well, I want to find
Right?
a value add property. The problem is I can't find anything.
No, wait. 200 grand on every million. You go out and buy something for $2 million if you want with that 400 grand.
You think I should look around the 2 million mark?
Well, that's up to you because if you know the business, you know what you can accomplish. If you put me in an industrial property, I don't know shit. I saw tremendous industrial properties here, and I said, holy shit, I get all this money, but then what do I do with it? Stick to what you know. If you know industrial and you can make improvements and get them rented, then, of course, buy value add so you can make more money. I mean, what other choice you got except putting it away?
Industrial or multifamily. Either
Well,
one.
then do whatever you can
I'll look at
find.
either one.
I mean, go out there and maximize. That's what I always did. That's how I grew. I went out and bought as much as I could, and that's how I grew. Because
Did you ever have to? But my question is, did you ever have to trade into something that wasn't a value add, where you just had to pay fair market value just so you didn't have to pay the tax on it?
Yeah, he
Is
just
that
did
okay?
on the John's
I mean,
Pass.
But I did. No, John's Pass has tremendous value. Okay, so I don't know.
You paid a lot of money for it.
You
though.
worry about the hotel. You ain't got finished with the big giant PIP list that has to be done. Okay.
Everything
Anyway,
I touch
sorry.
is value
You
add.
know how kids
It's
are.
look-
Hey,
it's
and how
looking
old are
right
you?
now that I'm
28. How old are you? How old
What?
did you say you was?
28.
And guess how old Vincent is? 28.
And guess how
And
much?
he's out there. He's got 300,000 of
and
industrial
guess how much I
property.
own? Nothing.
You own a KFC? Anyway, sorry about that.
That's
you
what
can't
I
get
would be
relatives
doing if
together.
I wasn't chained
it's
up.
looking right now that I'm just going to have to pay fair market value for a stabilized property.
You
because I
can't find a
any
deal out
valuation.
there. You can't find a deal.
I know every broker in town, and I go off market right to the property owner. The problem is, if I do find something, they think it's worth more than it really is, and it's a piece of shit.
Lowball it.
So I've made tons of offers, and I only have 45 days. We close next week. So
All right, listen, seriously. Have you been on LoopNet, right?
Yeah, LoopNet's crap though.
Well, but that's the point. The crap.
Yeah.
You want to buy it when it's crap so you can make it gold.
Yeah.
If there's an
that's true.
opportunity there. But the point is this: have you spoke to every commercial broker? Do they have Marcus and Millichap out there?
Yeah, the Marcus guys have already showed me a bunch of stuff, but it's so expensive.
Well, you go out of your area then. Can't you go out of your area?
I want to stay low. I want to stay local.
Well,
though.
you can't
I'll
have your
find
cake and
something.
eat it too.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry.
You're
I used
right.
to drive hours every day, to go back and forth to properties because that's where I had to go to make the money, baby. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to go out of your area, start branching out, or then just say, well, I'll just go buy an auto parts store and collect, 5, 6%, 7% in Pennsylvania. Where's Hersheytown?
Right.
Go to Hersheytown. You still got Hersheytown?
Yeah, I'm about 15 minutes from Hershey, so.
Go buy nothing in there. Tourist retail. There's no tourism there or retail. Or find another
No, there
industrial
is, but
deal. You
the
can't
problem
find
is-
another
yeah.
industrial deal? What about Amazon?
I'm actually looking for more multifamily. I mean, I already have, industrial. I'm looking to grow the multifamily side. So,
Well,
but I'm open to
multifamily
either
is at a
one, but-
height right now. All right, multifamily is at a height.
Yeah.
It's a market. Sometimes you just got to sit back and say, you know what, the market's cost too much, and I'm not paying it. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines until the market corrects. But if you know industrial, you should try to look at industrial value add deals. How about building some industrial shit? Industrial don't cost much to build even.
Yeah,
You tilt up some walls.
We did one ground up development.
What?
Already, but
You did a ground up development and you made money, right?
yeah.
Then keep doing it. But you got to make sure you can fill that sucker with a tenant.
It was a weird situation. We knew the landowner, and they had all this. They already paid for all the soft costs, and they had all the building plans.
Well, now you can do it yourself, maybe. You got to find stuff that's going to make you money. I mean, if you want to buy something
you're right.
and then just say, okay, I'm parking my money here, you can end up paying $80,000 in capital gains tax.
Yeah,
So,
I'd rather.
if you don't want to
That was
pay
my
the
question.
$80,000 and park
do
it
I
in.
overpay or pay fair value, or do I just pay the tax? That was kind of my question. What would you do being 28 years old?
Me, I wouldn't pay
Yeah.
the tax. Because even if I put it in a deal that I know I could sell at any time for the same price, and it's giving me some kind of decent cash flow, even 6%, at least I parked it somewhere where I can go back to it and sell it, and then keep going on when the market changes or a hot deal comes up. But
Gotcha. That makes sense.
plus, but make sure you spend all that money. Identify the shit out of every possible place you can find. Have some emergency backup identification. I'm not kidding. You better go find some auto parts stores or something is really safe and strong.
I definitely. Yeah. I have some backup plans already in the works. So
All right,
it might
very
fall
good.
back plan.
Don't
Well, I
pay
wish you the best of
tax.
luck. Don't pay
the
the tax. All right, God bless you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks,
and
Ben. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You got more callers? Then we'll keep going. I'm not tired yet. It's only been here 57
I
minutes.
know you're just starting to turn up. I see. Did you turn his voice up in my ear, or is he just screaming?
Man, you're such a complainer. You're the
You just
complaining
start- you
child.
just-
Your
Never
brother never
mind.
complains. He never complains. You do all the complaining.
You use whatever tactic you have to use. You said the same thing to him earlier. So
28 years old, you got gray hair.
you see what happens if I was 28 and on my own? I would own the whole damn city. I'm stuck in a Suge Knight contract. And we all know who Suge Knight is.
I'm low on sugar.
Yeah.
I got no sugar.
You're low
on this
Suge.
night. Kind of insult that compare me to Suge
See why
Knight.
you
Suge
want
Knight
to? It
is
wasn't
a
an insult.
ruthless-
It wasn't an
a
insult.
ruthless-
He's still a big shot business guy too, and you
I'd be
kind
scared to hang out
of
with
kind
him.
of resemble him a
I'd be
little bit
scared
too.
to be
Sometimes.
around him.
Hey, man.
Screaming.
Yes, sir. How are you today? How can we help you?
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I'm down here in Houston, and I was wondering what your take is on wraparound mortgages, on taking over somebody's mortgage on a wrap.
Yeah,
And then
I did that when I
doing
was
it
younger.
subject
I
to-
remember doing that, I mean, you're the buyer, so, I mean, you can't go out and get your own mortgage. You got to take their mortgage over. They got penalties, or what's the story?
No, I can. I'm looking at doing this to make some money.
I mean, it depends. You only want to take a wrap if for some reason you can't get a mortgage or,
Right.
or the
That's
rate
what
is
I'm-
so
that's
really
what my-
ridiculously great. I mean, and I would
Yes,
think you
sir.
get better rate. How much is the rate on the wrap on their mortgage, the seller's mortgage?
It's 3.75. It's actually really good.
That's pretty good. How long does it go out for?
30.
Oh, so it's a house.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, you can do it. Just make sure that you use a lawyer, right? Make sure a lawyer does it all
Right.
correct. But what's your benefit in buying this house?
Putting a tenant into it and doing a subject to or another wrap, somebody that doesn't have good credit, and putting them in there for a 5-year term.
I don't know if
You
you
know,
can
with
wrap
the,
a wrap.
with
You wanna wrap
with
a wrap.
20% cash down.
I never heard of anybody
Right.
wrapping a wrap. I didn't know you could do that kind of stuff. You can wrap it and then re-wrap it again? Holy shit.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Honestly, you better. Is your numbers make sense based on what your costs are, and is there actually any money in this deal to make any money?
Yes, sir. The money's from basically people that don't qualify for a
All right,
traditional
so let
bank
me ask you a
loan.
question. You're going to wrap this deal, right? You're going to wrap this house.
Yes, sir.
How much money you got to give the seller?
Nothing on this one. On this particular deal, nothing.
You're not giving the seller nothing. You take over their mortgage, they're going to walk away, and it's all on you.
Yes, sir.
All
I'm
right.
taking it subject to into my LLC.
Yeah, you're taking a house subject to their loan. Okay. How much
Yes,
is that
sir.
payment every month?
It's right at $2,300. That's with
2,300 in
taxes
Houston. It
and
must be
everything.
a fucking ranch. I've been to Houston.
It's it's a big house.
2,300 a month is your mortgage?
Yes,
Is there principal in there?
that's principal, interest, and the taxes. The taxes are high.
Taxes
Got
are
a
in there
mud
too.
tax.
You know. Let me tell you something. Texas is slick. They don't charge any state tax, but they kill you on the property tax. You got to pay a separate school tax too, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That's
it's,
what kills you.
1.3.
That's what chased me out of
No.
Houston, because they gave me a property tax bill, then they gave me the same bill for the school. I said, "Holy shit, this is crazy! I'm getting the hell out of here." Anyway, so you got $2,300 a month to carry that house. What the heck are you gonna rent it for?
Yes, sir. I wasn't going to rent it. I was going to do a subject to, or
Subject to
sell
how much
it.
you gonna collect a month?
Yeah.
If you
I was going to raise the interest rate, and then, I'm
how much
I'm
you going
still
to charge
trying to
that
get into this.
person? How much you going to charge that person all in? What's the payment going to be every month?
It's going to be
It's costing you
about
23.
about 2,500. I'm going to make the money on the front end or the back end. It all depends on if it's
Yeah,
going to be.
you're only making $200
subject
a
to-
month. I mean, unless you, how much
Well,
down
that-
are they going to put? How much down are they going to put?
Well, that's where I'm going to make my money. 20% down.
All right, so right now that house is valued at how much?
It's valued at $428,000.
So right now it's around 428. What are you going to sell that house for, or let somebody else wrap it for?
500.
So okay, 500. And then how much are you going to collect on the down payment?
20%, 15 to 20%.
You going to get somebody to
where
give
my
you
money is.
100 grand or close to it?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right. I mean,
Or
it makes sense.
is that way or
You can find somebody to give you 100 grand,
to.
and then they're gonna pay the $2,300 a month, or you gonna still pay it? Who are they gonna pay?
No,
you
they are. It's going to go over if it's going to be a wrap, and put a 5 or a 7 year term on it. Then the deed will be in their name. I won't have be responsible for any repairs or anything like that, and I can foreclose on it. Here in Texas, I can foreclose real easy.
Well, sounds like you got a plan to make 75 or 100 grand off this house. Just make sure you use a lawyer. That's all I can tell you.
Right? Yes, sir.
Don't do.
I just wanted to get your take on.
I mean, if you could buy
on
this
if
house
you
for
ever
no
heard of these
money,
things and
if this
how-
lady or this
how you
person,
feel
if
on
this
it.
person is going to turn over a house to you, say, here's the mortgage, sign over the paperwork, the deed to you. You got a house, you owe $428,000, you owe $428 to the bank. You're going to go out and find somebody to give you 75 grand. They're going to give you the 75 grand, and then they're going to take the 428 loan. That's fine. Just make sure that the bank don't call that loan because you keep selling off their loan. Make sure the bank doesn't call it. There's no
Right.
provision in there for the bank to say, wait a minute, you can't do that. But
Right, and that was one of the things
that's why you
that
need a
I
lawyer.
feared, but right. Yes, sir. That was one of the things
it
I
sounds
feared.
like an easy
I've
deal.
heard,
You
as
ain't got to
long
put
as
no money
bank
in the
gets-
house. You got to put any money in the house?
No, sir. Actually, not this one. This one in particular. No.
Well, I mean,
This
if you
guy,
feel
he
comfortable.
just doesn't want a foreclosure on his
Now,
credit.
let me
He
ask you
lost his
this.
job.
While you're looking for the next person to get wrapped,
Yes,
can
sir.
you afford that $2,300 a month?
That would be on me.
Can you afford it? And
Yes,
you
sir, I
can't-
can,
And
but
just
I don't want
remember,
to.
remember, you still got to keep up the lawn. You still got to pay the power bill. You better make sure, because in 10 months you're gonna blow 25 grand. If you don't sell that house in 10 months, 25 grand out of your pocket is gone. So be careful.
Okay. That's why usually with some of these. This is a bigger one than usual, so that's why I was wondering. Also,
No way you can find a person.
basically-
You can't find a person before you take it over.
That's usually what I do. Is I usually have somebody already lined up. I mean, I'll put an ad on Craigslist, and then I'll have them flooded with calls.
Well,
But the
go
key is
for it. You
getting
better
to
put
somebody
that ad out
has
there.
that has that money.
Put that ad out there and start screening calls right away. Go for it. But good luck to you. I hope it all works out. You make that money. Keep
All right,
rapping,
thank you, man.
baby.
I
Keep
appreciate your
rapping.
time. I
All
love
right.
your show.
Take care. Thank you. I appreciate it. He's rapping. Let's hear you rap. Can you rap? A hip, a hop, a hip it to the hip, hip hop. You don't stop rocking to the bang bang boogie step to the boogie rhythm and the boogity beat.
He stole that rap.
Sugar Hill Gang. First rap. First big rap.
Hello.
Hello, it's Ben and Vinson at the podcast. How are you?
Hey, Ben, it's Asher from good old Far Rockaway. How are you?
You're from Far Rockaway?
Your favorite place.
Could you believe that?
Oh my God! But I bet you don't come from the part I came from. Can you turn this? I can't really hear.
And I'm actually from the 5 towns right across the border.
Where are you at?
The 5 towns.
The 5
Far
towns.
Rockaway
You're from
area.
Long Island. What are you in? Woodmere, Lynbrook,
Lawrence.
Hey, do they still have? They used to be a place called Pies Plus. They still got that? No.
Pizza Pius?
Pies Plus. It was a bakery. No,
No,
you're gone.
don't remember.
The bowling alley still there?
What's still there?
The bowling alley?
Bowling alley's still there. Woodmere Lane.
Woodmere Lanes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's good.
Good
That's a nice part of town, you know. I used to
Yeah,
sneak in
yeah.
once in a while. The cops would stand on the border of Rockaway Turnpike and watch for anybody coming from Queens into Long Island. So how can we
Right.
help you? How can we try to help you?
So, Ben, I don't know if you're aware of what's going on back now in New York, but, we have a very blue government, state government going on, and they recently have taken tenant rights to a whole new level in which they've taken the rent-stabilized business and absolutely squashed the value-add component. The way, I'm going to keep it brief, I know you don't want the whole spiel, but the way it used to work is you bought a rent-stabilized buildings and you had tools at your disposal. You were incentivized to put money into each individual unit, into the building as whole, and eventually you increased your rent based off that, and you were able to what's called destabilize the unit, and then you were able to rent them out at market rate, not what was decided that you could actually make on them. Everyone gained, the tenants gained, the properties gained, the neighborhoods gained, because these buildings that, during the 80s and the early 90s were run down, had landlords putting money into their building. They were making money, and the buildings were looking great. The tenants were gaining. The government now came in and they took away that entire value add component, and landlords are no longer incentivized to put money into their building. As a mortgage broker in New York, who has done billions of dollars worth of rent stabilized business, the entire market is reeling and everyone is moving out of town. Now, what I'm just nervous about, and I would like to know your take on this is a pushback to Trump, which I feel may spread across the entire country, and multifamily as we know it, especially in blue states, may be changed for the worse for a very long time.
Isn't this all that new liberal? Isn't it the liberals that are causing all this crap with all these new laws and stopping anybody, and all that? Isn't it more liberal laws? Well, that's why I got the hell out of New York. I hate it. There's too many liberals. I did grow up in a rent-controlled apartment in Manhattan on 49th and 8th, where the rent was $150 a month, and the guy upstairs is paying $2,500. And that's, but then if we moved out, then the landlord was able to do what the hell he wanted. I mean, the laws are killing you. All these laws stopping people from progressing and making money and changing neighborhoods. It's ridiculous. But, I don't know anything about New York law. I just know that I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to be involved in all that stuff. That's why I like it here in Florida. I
have a lot of clients who are looking out now in Florida and other parts of the country.
Don't send them here stealing my deals.
I'm going to keep them far away. Listen, you give me a few deals to finance, and I'll keep them far away from you. How's that?
You give me what? I give them what?
You let me finance a few of you deals, but
you can't beat Bank of America,
away.
Wells Fargo, and Citibank. You can't beat them. No broker can.
Give me a shot. Let me prove it.
3%. 3%. Interest only.
3% interest only.
15-year.
Why are you paying
only
3%?
for 15.
With treasuries where they are, you should be in the high twos.
Well,
You shouldn't be
I'm
paying
not
the three
greedy.
handle, Ben. Come
I'm
on.
happy. 3% is good enough for me with my banking relationships, but I'll start squeezing them. Thanks. But I don't know what to tell you. New York is a tough town. I couldn't make it there. So,
Right.
I don't know. You got all those rules and regulations, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. Except,
I'm just nervous it's going to spread. That's
I'd
what I'm.
sell,
They
sell,
came in
sell.
overnight.
Hurry up and sell. Now's a great time to
Hurry up
sell.
and sell.
The market is at a friggin' height. The market cannot go any friggin' higher. It's ridiculous. All right. Well, good luck to you, and
I wanted to wish you a Shana Tova, Happy New Year, Ben. Keep up the
same to
great
you.
work.
Hey,
We
let me
really
ask you a
appreciate
question. I got a question for you.
it. Sure.
I got to go to these people's house tonight for the Jewish New Year dinner, Rosh Hashanah. And I'm not really that Jewish. I mean, I'm Jewish, but, I can't even find my yarmulke. Anyway, what's appropriate to bring to somebody's house for dinner tonight?
Honestly, and you're going to laugh, the best thing you could bring is some nice apples and a jar of honey, because that's what we do on Rosh Hashanah.
right.
We
You
dip
dip
the apple in the honey.
All right. Well, thank you
Go
very
out to
much.
the farmer's market and pick some of that up, and you'll be the best guy in the party.
I'm going to Publix. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Take care, Ben.
Bye-bye.
All the best. You too.
You should go to New York.
I was just there.
I don't know. Too
I
many
wanna
rules
go
and
back.
regulations. I can't, we need so much. Stop with and the people that make the rules aren't in business. It's crazy. That's why we need business people to run everything. Run it like a business. Logic. Stop with all these extra rules and all these restrictions. Have some that make sense. Anyway, you got nobody else calling or what? Oh, it's ringing again. We're gonna run out of rings. Oh, nobody there. What else? Tomorrow, Monday. What time does your flight leave? 12 o'clock? Okay. Hello, this is Ben. Vincent's here. We're on a podcast. How can we try to help you?
Hey, Ben, I was just watching the show, the podcast. I just want to know your thoughts on, because now that with real estate being high, we have to look for unique opportunities. What do you think about Airbnb? What do you think about commercial, turning it into like a wedding venue rental business? I'm just trying to think outside the box.
Everybody's trying to think outside the box, especially me right now. I mean, these ideas are great. I got some great ideas, but will they work? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that if you start thinking out that box doesn't collapse. You got to make sure that, before you start converting stuff, that you have a demand, a real demand for what you're converting to. Just the other day, I had to split a bank down the middle because I couldn't rent the friggin' bank out. It was an empty bank.
Right.
So I had to split it down the middle, and now I'm renting to two different places. That's pretty much, I'm getting out, but most people, that's common sense to do that. If you want to start changing the entire type of space, you better make sure that there's no zoning involved and that there's actual demand for what you're going to invest that money into converting. So, it's smart. It could be a home run, but it could be a strikeout. It's like a baseball game.
I just converted a rental unit that I have in Las Vegas to an Airbnb, but rental units now, Airbnbs in the entire city of Las Vegas are now banned.
Are they?
I
didn't know that.
In the city.
In the city.
Now, the city is...
Man, those hotel casinos said, fuck this.
The casinos do not want people... renting out what they call party houses and spending the money.
Because it's taking money away from them.
Now, my rental unit is in the county, so I'm allowed only to rent it for 30 days. So you can't do like a week rental. So going through these regulations is like going through a minefield.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really get involved with Airbnb because you can go on one city, they say it's okay. The next city says no. You can rent for 30 days at a time. You can rent for a week at a time. It's too much for me. And then you might as well try to buy a small hotel in. I don't know, but
what about a condo hotel in Vegas? Where you own it and they rent it out as a hotel for you. Are those big in Vegas?
Then you got the HOAs that are going to be regulating you. The HOA. If you got condo hotel,
they
sure
run
there's
it.
more. Yeah,
they run it. They charge a management fee. A lot of people like it, but
on the strip.
I know a guy here. He has a condo hotel, but it's an expensive hotel. He makes $100,000 a year off his one room because it's a fancy place. But I don't know. I mean, Airbnb, you got to go somewhere that, there's a demand,
Yeah.
The thing about what we're saying about retail.
Yeah. And retail. Yeah.
I mean, the wedding thing is good. Is there a demand for it? And do you want to run something like that? That's a business. Now you're not just running real estate. See, that's the problem. Real estate, you find yourself sometimes in real estate, when you start running Airbnb, it's not like regular real estate. You're in the hotel business. You got to have sheets and pillows and cleaning and all that stuff. So you got to make sure you know what you're getting into. With regular rental units, you rent the place out, they pay you the rent, something breaks, you fix it, and that's the end of it. You start getting involved with furniture and all that other crap, and then booking it. The booking is a pain in the neck yourself. And then the people you get in there, you got to make sure they don't trash it. But you got to be careful. So make sure you think through anything you do before you do it. Make sure you know all the aspects of that business.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, Airbnb gives $1 million thing. If somebody damages your place, you have 3 days to report to the Airbnb. And supposedly their insurance is up to $1 million.
Well, if you like it and you want to deal with that stuff, then go find some places that don't have restrictions against it, and you can do it. But you better be careful. You're going to be booking them. You're going to be having to deal with the check-in or whatever and making sure they get in, making sure they get out, making sure the place is clean. You're going to have to fill it up with furniture and sheets and silverware and all that crap.
Right. It's like the hotel business, like
exactly, but you only got one room, so it gets kind of it depends on the return. Everything's worth the price if it's the money makes sense. The numbers work, but be careful.
The numbers work, yeah.
Yeah, be careful.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You still got people calling?
How many people are watching? You got a lot of people watching?
How many?
400,000.
No.
It's 400,000.
That's good. Well, hey. But now you're sitting here doing nothing. What are you going to do? Are you going to get on that plane? Are you going to go back to the hotel and get that place done? Some people are trying to say there's a $7 million PIP on that place. I know for a fact you get that sucker done for about $2.5 million. Go in there, work with this guy, get all the bathrooms done.
The contractor
rip
there.
out
The
the fucking bathrooms. Let's get it done
up.
while it's slow. Because when's the season come in?
It's the new year, pretty much.
So you got to now to the end of the year to get as much done as you can, and you got plenty of money to back you up.
It's not that simple, but
Listen, we got to get in there and get busy. You played around with the place for a year. You got your hands around it. Nobody wants to buy it unless you fix it up first. It's what you got to do. And that's where you make your money. You get in, you buy it, you fix it up, then you sell it.
Well, we got the contractor. I'm meeting him tomorrow.
Well, but
and
you
he's
still
gonna
got
do
banquet rooms and a whole long list of other shit to do. And then don't wait till the last minute. Let's start finding out what furniture we need now. Let's start picking it out at least and know where we're going to buy it. Let's get everything done. Get the ceilings done, all the popcorn up the ceilings. Get the bathrooms ripped out and redone. Get everything done in that PIP. If you finish that PIP, then the hotel becomes a prized possession. Hello? Ring, 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 ring. You only got one project to work on. I got 20.
I got the biggest project to work on. You got a bunch of little projects
you should
to
be
work
happy.
on.
Happy you got a big, great project to work on.
I am happy.
Anybody needs a room, come see Vinson at Cypress, Fort Lauderdale, Cypress Creek. You got 258 two-room suites there. Hello, how are you? It's Ben and Vinson at the podcast. How can we try to help you?
There's a nice Airbnb on
Hi,
Gulf
Ben and
Boulevard.
Vincent. I'm Paul. My sister's in the Detroit area, and she started buying up Detroit area properties at the height of the recession and has done phenomenally well, and she's accumulated about 50 properties there. She wants to expand to Florida, and I'm sort of concerned that she doesn't know what she doesn't know about this particular area, maybe things like sinkholes, things like that. Do you have any suggestions of things for out-of-state investors to be on the lookout for?
Don't let them scare you with the sinkholes. There's not that many. Unless you're in...
Insurance doesn't cover sinkholes anymore. Listen, it doesn't matter where you buy or what you buy. You got to do your homework. Before you come out and before you start thinking about buying anything, this is what I did. I when I was in California, I got a whole list of properties off a line that I thought I might be interested in buying. I came out here, I drove the properties, I fell out the neighborhoods, I looked at the assets. Florida, you got to worry about hurricanes, hurricane insurance, you got to have it. You got sinkholes are normally only in certain areas. It's not common, but it is heard of. But that's only in very small areas that I ever hear of it, that are really weird areas on the water. But, you definitely got to come out. She's got to come out here and do her homework and get to know the law of the land, the lay of the land, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, but Florida's great. It's a great place because people are always coming here to die. I did. I came here to die.
I moved here to Bradenton about 25 years ago, and it is a great place. I like it.
All right. Well, tell her just make sure she does her homework first because this ain't Detroit. She was probably buying those houses for the. She was probably buying houses for the price of the taxes, wasn't she? That's how cheap they were going. What's
Like
she doing with that? What's she doing with the
$18,000,
houses
and it would
now?
pay for itself, like in 3 to 5 years.
Is she
currently
renting them?
buying
Is she
things
selling
for,
them? What's she doing with them?
$40,000. Pardon?
What is she doing with them?
Well, she's
Renting them,
keeping
selling them?
She's keeping them. She's
Well, that's
building a
great.
portfolio. She's got like 50% equity in about 50 properties
That's great.
altogether.
And what's her brother getting out of the deal?
She wants me to be her eyes, and ears right around here and be out, scouting properties for her. And she also manages a lot of properties in the Detroit area for out-of-state or out-of-country investors.
Detroit's working for her. I don't know. Prices are very high everywhere right now. If you know Detroit, you can sniff out the bargains because you live there. You might want to stay there, but but definitely come here and do your homework first. Florida's a great place. All you got to worry about is really the hurricanes, and that I don't worry about. I got insurance.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks.
Take care.
Thanks,
Good
man.
luck.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bada boom, bada bing.
If you can make it in Detroit, you can make it
anywhere.
anywhere.
What a rough town.
Is the
I
water
met that
even
guy
okay
from
out
that
there?
jewelry store that had that TV show. I met him down at Cayman Islands. Man, that's a rough town. You ever see that show? What was it called? Hardcore Porn? I love that show. I don't know why he stopped. They stopped making it because the daughter left. Well,
what
so
did you
the daughter
say? What
left.
are you
She
watching?
kept doing it. I mean, that was a rough crowd. That reminded me of being in a business in Oakland. I used to take televisions for rent. One
Actually,
time,
no, I do remember that show. That
I
used
used to fill our house up like our house looked like a used pawn shop because people couldn't pay their rent. They come over with the stereos, the TVs. I did what I had to do. Your first bicycle was somebody paid the rent with it.
First big wheel.
First
Remember that big wheel. Remember that big wheel.
All right, what you got for us? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, it's Ben Vinson. We're on the podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Mr. Ben. I've been waiting for this call for a long time.
I didn't know you were waiting. I would have called you sooner.
I know. I'm so excited to talk to you. Anyway, I've been following all your podcasts and trying to learn as much. I got a quick question for you. So I live in Pensacola, Florida. I got like $130,000 in the bank sitting there thinking about buying properties. I've done a lot of research, costs, rent, and everything. Well, I can get a good property for 120, 150, but I find out about tax deeds and tax liens where you can bid on these good properties, which I've drive through and inspected them through the outside and things like that, for pennies compared to what you can buy through the real regular market due to the fact that right now everything is so high. So what do you think about tax deeds and tax liens?
I'm not an expert in tax deeds and liens because you got to wait. You could buy that piece of paper right now, or you can start paying that person's property taxes. Number one, you may not get the place. Somebody will step up at the last minute and pay the taxes. All you get is the interest that you were promised. You may never get the house if it goes, I believe. Don't quote me on this. But, you don't get possession right away with that stuff. You want to buy something you get your hands on. Pensacola, right? Did you guys just get hit by a hurricane?
Tons of deals.
Isn't it tons of deals?
No.
How far are you from Mexico Beach? How far are you from Mexico Beach and all those places got hit by the hurricane?
I'm probably like 200 miles away.
Oh, okay. I'm
right in
sorry.
Pensacola Beach, so we haven't got hit by hurricane or anything. I heard somebody saying about these tax deeds and tax liens, and I'm kind of doing a little bit
You
research.
got to learn it. You got to learn it. You got to go online and study all the rules with it, because I don't know them. But I know one thing: if you buy a tax deed or a tax lien, unless it's at an auction and the time is up, and then people will bid against that, for that property, I don't think you don't get the property. All you're getting is your money's tied up in somebody else's property, but you got the first position, because of the taxes come before everything. So basically, you're basically bidding on an interest rate, how much money you're going to get paid while you're waiting to see if somebody pays those taxes, or then you get the property if they don't pay the taxes. But you don't get the property right away. That's the problem. You got to go out there.
Okay.
Listen, with $130,000, you could go out there and buy something for like $500,000. Go out there and find something for $500,000, a good deal. Pensacola's got good deals. I see deals at Pensacola. You need to go find the right broker and look for, go online, find the right broker, and go and see if you get a loan from a bank and try to buy something for $500,000 if you want, or if you want to do rental units, or if you want to do houses, then buy them with 20% down. How much is a decent house? What do you want to do? You want to flip houses? You want to do rentals?
No, I want to do rentals. I think. Well, I want to do both, but I honestly want to start with rentals because I think you can do own to rent, right? Where you can rent the property with eventually they buy it and they can put a huge down percent and then use that money again. But yes, I essentially good 20. You can buy a good property from estimate 130, 120. You find it like in the lower neighborhoods.
Yeah, but you only want to put
90.
20% down. Only put $20,000 down on every 100. Go to the bank.
Okay.
Use the bank's money so you can do 5 deals with that money.
Got you. Okay.
Go to the bank. Go to the bank. All right. Well, take care and good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
800,000 cash, a lot of money in Pensacola.
He said 130,000.
I have 800,000.
He said 130,000, didn't he?
No, that was way after. He said I got 800 complete total in the bank. He wants to invest.
Well, then he
so
go
with
out
that, he
and
can
shit,
get up to like $4 million.
Friggin', $4 million bucks, baby.
I know, especially in Pensacola. There's a lot of beaten up stuff out there. It needs a lot of work, but it's just
Don't
too
they
far.
call that
It's too far for us.
Don't they call that the Redneck Riviera? Pensacola and all that, or there's another name for it.
Florida Georgia Line and stuff.
I don't know.
there.
I don't like Pensacola. Too far away from me.
It's a little too far north.
It's like going to another state. But hey, there's money to be made everywhere.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone. And
Oh, you should have left a
Ben
message.
Mallah.
You should let him leave a message.
No, they'll answer. They got that type of phone. They don't want to. They want to know who's calling them. Really know who's calling them. Same person.
hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Nice voice. Ben Mallah.
This is a call from the Pinellas County Sheriff's.
Collect call from Ben Mallah. We accept the charges. I'll tell you what. If you want, you can burn that ticket you got and take the 414 home. Your flight don't leave till when?
I don't want to take
Hey,
that
it's Ben and
414.
Vincent. How you doing? We're on a podcast. How are you?
Hey, Ben. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Let me put the volume down on the podcast so you guys can hear me. Hey, man. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Happy.
I'll get right to it. I talked to you before when you guys were on the other podcast, but I love your advice, man. I still have a property in upstate New York. I have I bought it cash, which was my biggest mistake after listening to you guys and a lot of my other mentors. And I can't get at least the local bank. Last time you told me to go to the local bank. So I go to the local bank and try to take the cash out. They won't give me the cash because I bought the building vacant. I have it 50% occupied now. I'm finishing the renovation on the other 50%. I bought it for $75,000. I'm making $650 a unit now. So right now I'm at $1,300 a month, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I keep going to banks and trying to find another bank that has a different criteria, or do I just try to sell it and move to another state? And if I move to another state, what state would you recommend if it was in Florida?
Wait. Let's clean up the mess you got already before we start moving out of state. Okay, you got a property. How many units are in it?
4.
4 units. How many are rented?
2.
Then the only
The other
thing
2
that
need
should be
rehab.
going on in your life right now, okay, is renting those 2 units out. No bank wants to lend on property that's not fully generating all its income. You're only allowed 10% at the most vacancy. You need all those units rented. Is there anything stopping you from renting those 2 units out?
Just the rehab money.
How much?
Rehab money and time. Rehab money and time. Probably.
How much?
10 grand.
All right, so you need 10 grand to fix them both up?
Yeah.
And you ain't got 10 grand?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the line of credit. I'm bartering
I
with
don't
people.
care. It doesn't matter how you got to do it. Every day those places are empty, you're losing money.
I'm definitely doing it.
You got to get that plan in high gear. That's your roadblock right now. You need those units done. You need them rented. And now you got something. You can walk into the bank like a big shot. Here we go, baby. I got 4 units and they're all rented. Show me the money. Then they'll show you the money.
So you're saying that? So the bank I went to said it had to be occupied for 2 years because I had a 1-year lease, a 6-month lease, and then I have the 2-year lease on the commercial because it's commercial on the bottom.
Oh, there's commercial in it?
Top. Yeah, it's commercial.
How many units of commercial? How many units of commercial?
1.
2?
It's 1 unit commercial. 3 units are apartments.
Let me tell you, is it totally make no sense to convert that commercial to a residential? Is there any possible way you can do it with zoning?
It doesn't make any sense. It's on a main street.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Do you have a commercial tenant to go in there? You shouldn't need any money.
Yeah, he's
for
already
a commercial
rented.
tenant.
That's already rented.
Oh, that's rented, and you have 1 residential unit rented?
Exactly.
So you only
exactly.
got 2. You only got 2 apartments to rent out.
Well, the bank is saying. My question is, the bank is saying that I need 2 years of proved income on the building.
That's one bank says.
I just bought the building in March.
Listen, that's one bank says. Let me tell you something.
They're probably saying that because you got the 2 vacancies as well. So you got 2 vacancies and short rental history. So
if you got that place full, they'll have a different story. Believe me. Yeah. If you got that place full and you got 4 leases to show them that they're occupied and the money coming in, the banks will stand in line to give you a loan. Because what would happen if it was a brand new purchase loan? You don't have any history there. So, you need to rent it. Once you got those 2 units rented, you're in the driver's seat.
All right,
Get them
so do what I've
rented
been
right
doing.
away.
Just focus on renting it. Don't worry about moving away.
I used to stay up all freaking night with no sleep just to get my unit rented.
Burner phones and everything.
I didn't care.
Burner phones.
Yeah.
What are you talking
about? Get a whole new number and push the number out there and rent the units however you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to renovate and then rent it. I appreciate the advice, man. I really do.
Get busy. Get that unit rented and move on. Thank you. Take care.
No.
Get all upset.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm not getting upset.
Picking on you.
Burner phones.
Yeah.
What the heck is a burner phone? Throwaway phone?
That's how I know you ain't rented that many apartments.
I know about burner phones.
I've had
They're
burner
illegal,
phones
aren't they?
out the
You're
ass.
talking about buy a cheap one and throw it away.
That's what a burner phone is.
Yeah, all right, fine.
When you're trying to rent
Why?
apartments because they're gonna call you. Can I get an apartment on your damn private phone on your regular phone?
Well, these days with technology, you say go online, fill out an application.
He's only got like 2 units.
That's a nice ring.
Call from.
Hello, it's Ben Mallah, Vincent, on a podcast. How are you?
To send a voicemail, press
We're in
2.
voicemail. All right, where are we at?
Why don't you tell the people what you got to do today?
What do I got to do?
What do you got to do today?
Tomorrow
what the hell
morning,
how are
let
you
me tell you
here
something.
spending hours
Tomorrow
in this
morning,
room?
I got a meeting to sit down and get down to it. I'm at 26 million. He's at 29 million on the sundial.
Say the
Oh
name?
shit! I can't tell. I was supposed to say that inside of disclosure.
It's only for the people that are listening right now.
I got to
Edit
make
that
big
later.
decision. Do I have the guts to buy this place in distress? It needs commercial tenants, and I don't think I can do it. I got problems. I got empty space in John's Pass. I got to find a space for that Winn-Dixie next to the Chinese takeout restaurant. I got to find out the other Midway. I got any tenants over there? I got to find the next deal.
I've been looking for
Do
a
I buy
retail
something
guy
that needs
for
a
you.
lot of work? Do
you
I
need
buy
somebody
something
that
doesn't
can
need
rent out
work?
your retail.
You need to finish that hotel so I can make some money,
I'm
baby.
doing that plus more.
Get that sucker filled and rented and running and fixed.
It's already most
Make
of
the
that.
Sheraton great again.
Place looks really good already.
Hello? No answer. They left.
Why don't we call your mom?
No. Got no time
I haven't
for
talked
that.
to her in a while. I can't.
You
I
call
can't,
her, but on your
can't,
time.
Can't. My life has been actually stress free.
I don't know. The phone isn't ringing, but nobody answering.
How many people are watching now? 100?
I don't know. 10.
Hello.
They're all in jail. Hello? Hey, it's Ben and Vince. We're on the podcast. How are you?
Ben, Dimitri, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good, good. Big fan. Been watching you for a very long time.
We
even since
appreciate
started
it.
with Danny.
How can we try to help you?
Listen, I'm in Miami. I agree with you. Everything is overpriced. Multifamily. I'm interested in the value-add retail that you're doing up north.
It's all about filling the tenant, baby. I mean, that's the biggest problem. You can make a ton of money in retail right now, but you got to have that magic way of getting a tenant in there. You know, with all the people closing down and things are shrinking down, it's hard to find tenants.
Yeah, but what are you looking to fill right now? I could probably help you out.
Oh, I got the tourist attraction called John's Pass down in Madeira Beach. I need touristy type tenants in there, or maybe an arcade guy, or stuff like that. I got some big spaces opening up, some big open boxes, some big shoe stores that are going bye-bye.
What about cutting up the boxes and doing the U-Fit or a Planet Fitness?
I already own an
Down
LA Fitness.
here,
I don't want to get too
they're
heavy
moving
into that
That's
stuff.
what everybody's doing here.
Yeah, but once the market turns, the first thing people stop doing is pay the gym membership. I got an LA Fitness I just bought, so I can't do it in that plaza, and I really have no other space big enough for something like that. The biggest spaces I got right now, I got a 2400 in Tampa. I got a ton of it in John's Pass, a bunch of little shops or big shops. I got some big shoe store going bye-bye. That's about 6,500 square feet. I could chop up into 3,500. But that already has an LA Fitness, so I can't do nothing there with the gym. What else you
about
got?
the bowling places? Do you ever go to the ICS? There's a lot of concepts that'll fit that bill.
The what? ICS convention?
Yeah. They have
I
the
know. I
bowling
got to start
places,
doing
arcade,
it.
trampoline parks.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I could find somebody that's got the money to come in and do a build out, and I'm definitely open to meeting with people like that. If they got the money to invest in their business, I just want to be the landlord.
I gotcha. What do you think about single tenant development? We're doing two single tenant developments for Popeyes right now.
Well, I mean, you got a big, strong brand
Don't
behind you, so that's a no-brainer. I mean,
contract.
If you got a contract with them before you build it, that's great, and you sit back and you get...
Yeah, we tie it up.
And then
we
you
tie
sell
it
it
up
for a
with all
friggin' 6 cap
refundable
and you
money.
make money.
Exactly.
There you go. I'll buy a couple. Can you give Vincent wants a Popeyes, but he wants a 7 cap. Can you give him one in a 7 cap?
5 cap.
Come on, 7 cap.
No, not in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, not in Fort Lauderdale, 6.5. Cash money, quick deal, right now.
Ben, let me ask you. I saw that you did. You had some senior housing. How does that work with the low-income housing tax credits? Were you able to get that 9%? That program that they have.
The type of properties we did were low-income tax credit housing. They were developed by the Florida Housing Finance with the developer. So we basically, we rented to seniors.
You have to follow their restrictions.
And follow their restrictions and their rules on the income levels, and we only could charge the rent they said to pay. We done some independent senior housing, but I didn't see any major tax benefits to it.
So with that it wasn't a material thing, that 9%.
What 9%?
I don't know the logistics behind it, but it looks.
I don't know what 9% you're
class.
talking about. I don't know what 9% you're talking about.
There's some program that you get a tax abatement of 9% if you rehab senior housing or low-income housing.
I'm not aware of it. I'm not familiar with it. Where can I find out about it? I love
It's a
senior
federal
housing.
program.
It's a federal program?
Yeah, it's a federal program.
All right, I'll call my accountant tomorrow and look into it. I appreciate it. We own some senior housing right now. We got some really nice senior housing. All right, well, good luck to you. You're rolling high in Miami. Hey, let me ask you a question. What do you think of Coral Gables?
Downtown,
in terms of
downtown Coral Gables.
Downtown? It's downtown? You think I should buy Coral Gables for $300 a door? That's big money.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you talking about? Multifamily?
Yeah, multifamily.
What, 100 unit?
Don't tell too many details to this guy. He'll steal a deal. I don't know, but Coral Gables is a nice neighborhood.
I'm not liquid enough to steal a deal.
Hey,
but what's the upside there?
I mean, honestly, I like to buy something in some really high-end neighborhoods. Coral Gables is a pretty nice neighborhood, right?
The rents say so.
Of course. I mean, but so is Brickell, downtown, South Beach.
Well, the
but,
deal that I found
South
is
Lake.
in Coral Gables. I ain't found it in South Beach and
Wynwood. And
Wynwood, please.
What's the cap on that deal? I don't know. Per door.
Multifamily. I don't pay attention to cap rates, but do you think the rents are going to stay at around $2,500 a month over there for a nice apartment in Coral Gables?
Yeah, I would choose Coral Gables over Brickell any day. We're oversaturated here in the Miami core.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. I got a lot of good information from you, and I'm going to put it to use.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.
You too.
See, he helped me. He called in, and he helped me. I didn't know about no 9% tax for seniors. I'm going to look into that.
From Miami.
I don't know Coral Gables that well, but he said it's good. So the guy helped me out. Thank you very much. Maybe I can. Anybody else out there can help me? Let's see what other problems I
You
got.
might get your space rented and everything.
I need a space rented. We need retail tenants that aren't going to get killed by the internet. You know, that's what we got to rent to. That's why we built that Winn-Dixie. Nobody there is affected by the internet. So anyway, you got anything else for us? You still got more? More? Happy's texting me. Why?
He saw you said something about him on the podcast.
I gotta get a new phone. All right, what's up? We're boring people here, sitting around, wasting people's time. And
Ben?
Yes, it's Ben. And Vincent's here. We're on a podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How can we try to help you?
I'm 16. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I just had a couple questions for you.
You're 16, as in 1-6?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I was mature for 16, so I can relate to you. So how can we try to help you?
Well, currently, the market is just super expensive, oversaturated. Houses are not selling, and I don't think it's possible to get a 5% down loan for a real estate flip. So I just wanted your opinion about when do you think the market's going to go down, real estate wise?
These are the things that are occupying a 16-year-old's mind. I hope Erin and Vincent are both paying attention to this. Okay?
Yep.
I mean,
That's
that's
good.
pretty
He's on the right
impressive.
track.
A
That's
16-year-old is trying to understand today's housing and real estate market, and you're talking about Long Island. What part of Long Island? And don't say Ronkonkoma.
Massapequa.
Massapequa. I don't even know.
Yep.
That's pretty far out. It's not near Freeport, is it?
It is.
We used to go to the. They still got the racetrack there at Freeport. We used to watch Demolition Derby there.
Yeah.
I mean, prices. The market is just crazy right now because interest rates are low. People can go out and they can own $1 million worth of real estate and only pay $30,000 a year, $2,500 a month in interest. So that's the problem. You know, we got to wait for the market to come down unless you find something that, you know, has been beat up, you know, and needs work put into it. What do you want to do? You want to buy houses?
I don't know yet. I don't want to work for somebody, as anybody wouldn't, but still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but let me give you some advice at 16, right?
Yeah.
The best way to learn how to work for yourself is to start by working for somebody else. Even at 16, you might be able to go to the most expensive apartment building in your neighborhood or any nice apartment building and say, "Hey, could you give me a shot at showing apartments and leasing even on the weekends, just to get you a feel for how real estate works, how the whole process works." You know, you ever think about doing that?
Possibly. You know, something decent over here, residential wise. You're looking at $550, $600 for decent that needs work. So it's crazy.
Yeah, you're living in a place that's, you know, in high
demand.
Yeah. And you know, finish school and then figure out if you want to go somewhere where there's value add. You know, maybe some other location or try to look for fixer uppers. I mean, you got somebody backing you up, your family backing you up.
That's a tough question. It's possible, but I don't know what the chances of that are.
Well, how are you going to get the money? Hello? Quiet, mother.
Work.
So where are you working right now?
My earphones are messed up.
Currently I'm not working right now, but over the time I worked a little at a supermarket. But, you know.
Listen,
I mean, you're still really, really young.
Mature.
Yeah.
I mean, mature for your age, but you're thinking about it right now. So by the time you're 18, I mean, you will own it.
What
Some
are you, in
people
the
don't
10th
own
grade?
anything until
You're in
they're
the 10th grade?
50 years old.
11.
11. See, you got skipped a grade. Yeah. You got left back.
No, I didn't skip a grade.
That's because you showed up to the school.
Hey, but seriously, you know, you got your head on straight. That's the most important thing. You really should try to think about ways. Do you like studying? Do you like school?
No.
Yeah, well, there's one class. There's one thing I recommend you take. Okay, there's only one, and you can do this online. I think at 16, you should try to take, because you're definitely more intelligent enough to take it. You should think about taking Principles 101 Real Estate. Okay, because it's going to at least get you in the right mode of brain thinking of how real estate works and knowing the basics. You might want to take a job at a real estate office just to be around it. You know, if you surround yourself with real estate, you're going to be in real estate. But you got to learn from other people that already made money in it, whether it's selling houses. Anything you can learn in real estate at 16 is a big plus for you. You know, go to a real estate office, say, "Hey, do you mind? I want to get my real estate license, and I'm studying for the test, and I want to hang out in the office and learn the ropes, and they'll give me stuff to do."
Yeah.
Oh, good luck to you.
Yes, thank you. My second question, if you don't mind me asking. With your, I remember you previously talked about your investments in Uber. Currently, they're not doing so well from their IPO. Did you sell that?
I didn't sell it because I didn't buy it for an investment. I bought it because it was what you're not supposed to do. I was emotional. I like Uber because sociably, I think it helped society. I know so many people that love to go out and drink, and they don't even think about touching their car. They call an Uber. I can't imagine how many lives it saved from people going out and drinking and driving, and how many victims they ain't from getting hit by cars and crazy stuff happening to people. So I don't know. I'm just gonna put some money in it and let it sit. I didn't put that much.
And it made a lot of jobs for a lot of part-time jobs.
Oh
for
yeah,
people
look
as
at
well.
anybody that needed a job that's out of work or wants extra income. That gave them a reason to go out and make more money to help themselves and their family. So socially,
Very true.
I think it's a great company, a great concept, and if it goes through the roof, great. If it don't, I don't care. What they've done for society, money cannot buy. They've saved lives, in my opinion. So
Very true.
And just think of how much money the insurance companies should be fucking kissing their ass because, pardon that language,
Drivers.
but you know.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, you have a great weekend. Take care.
Thank you. You too, Ben.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
16, Aaron. And all you're doing is, I want to play soccer. I want to play golf. I want to play baseball.
It's good he picks on somebody else for a while.
You got to start young, baby. You got to start young.
I'll do a deal with you, Aaron. Don't worry.
Hey, you know somebody offered me the golf place. What's it called?
Hello?
No, not Top Golf. Hey, it's Ben and Vinson. We're here on the podcast. How are you?
Ben, thank you so much for taking my call. You are the man. I want to be just like you.
Well, we appreciate you watching and listening, and hope
Just like him?
See you. No, you don't want to be just like me.
Maybe not everything.
I smoke too much. I'm overweight. No, but
I smoke too, man. But I'll get right to it. I've been selling on Amazon since 2015. It went real good for a couple of years. And in 2018, I grossed $590K. And this year, I'm about to pass the $1 million mark.
Congratulations.
So I have about, thank you, man. I had so much problems when I was younger. My pops did stopped paying child support, and we had to live like in my office with my mom. But it's much better now.
Makes you a stronger person, and you got your head on. You know, those hard times that you went through and I went through, it makes us want to get out there and make money. You know, it's like almost we take a negative and we turn it into a positive. That's what's, you know, sometimes good about having those experiences is that you and me both know money will make your life better.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm out. I need to make it. I gotta do it. So I have 250K in my S Corp's bank account, and I have about 100K in cash.
What do you want to do?
Make more money in real estate. I don't know anything about real estate. I've been doing a bunch of research. I live in California, and I want to see what you would do in my position.
What part of California?
I live in Orange County.
It's very expensive. That's the problem, man. How about what you can't keep making more money at the Amazon and grow bigger, or what?
Yeah, definitely. Except I've been paying in taxes a lot of money, and this year I'm gonna pay a lot more. So I know I need to do some type of planning, and it seems like real estate's a good shelter for my money.
Yeah, it definitely can help shelter a lot of your income, especially if you buy something to fix up and put money into. But, taxes are taxes, but, you should continue and keep trying to build your Amazon business up because that'll be your base. You got a strong base backing you up. But, it's hard where you're at because real estate's so expensive. But the first thing is, you can't do nothing without the bank loaning you money. You don't want to put all your cash in one deal. And you can't do nothing without meeting brokers and getting in the. You got to kind of get in it. You got to be in the world of it. You got to have your brain focused on going online, looking at the local real estate market where you live at, working with a broker. You got to go to a bank and get pre-qualified so you know how much money you can buy for. You need, let me tell you something. Paying taxes is a good thing too, because when you walk into that bank with those tax returns showing that you're making money and paying taxes, that's what they want to see. That's what qualifies you for a loan. So put all your information together, your tax returns, your income statements, whatever you got. Go meet a banker, or more than one, and find out, say, hey, I'm thinking about going out and buying some income property. If the place praises out, how much do you think you'll loan me based on my income and the down payment that I have to have? That's the first step. You gotta have a bank. You gotta have a broker. Then you gotta go out and find a deal. But you gotta find a deal with some equipped with the tools you need to close the deal.
Got it. Okay, so one more thing, Ben. I recently went to the Los Angeles Real Estate Expo this weekend, yesterday actually, on Saturday, and a lady there was pitching the idea of investing in mobile homes. What do you think about that, Ben?
It's all about location. If there's a demand in an area that has mobile homes, and there's a demand where you can find people to rent them, because it's true, housing is in a shortage. So people are going out looking for cheaper ways to live, but you got to get out there and do your homework. You got to go out there, look for mobile homes for sale online. You can find mobile homes on Craigslist. You got to determine a lot of those parks. All the park wants is the rent for the land. They don't care about the trailer. Some of those parks will give you a trailer. I don't know about Orange County area, but here in Florida, you can get a free trailer that you got to fix up, and all the park cares about is pay us that $400 a month rent. So you can make money at anything if you do your homework and the numbers work and it makes sense, but it's a good start. It's definitely getting your foot in the door, but, make sure that you find the right agent that specializes in the mobile homes, because those are the ones that know about the best deals. And then you don't waste a lot of time, going places and all that. Find a mobile home park broker, and then the broker might know a bank that will loan you money on them. Banks will loan money on them.
Okay, so what I'm getting here is that I've got to find some broker and pretty much network with them, see how they can help me. I can help them.
The best way to find a broker is act like you're a buyer. Okay? Go online and just go to Craigslist, go to your local MLS, type in mobile homes for sale, and it'll lead you wherever it leads you. But it'll lead you somewhere.
All right. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate
it.
One last
great
thing.
Week. Good.
I think I've accumulated a bunch of knowledge on e-commerce, and the thing now is to launch courses and make money. But I feel like it's a total sellout. What are your thoughts on these courses people are pushing?
Courses on how to make money on internet, or you mean courses in real estate?
No, I mean really in anything, but the how to make money on online, that's the big one right now. Everybody's pushing their $1,000 course. And I mean, I can teach somebody. I taught my cousin in Peru, South America.
Listen, if
16
you're
years
actually
old.
going to teach people something, then it's worth money. Simple.
Knowledge.
It's all the guys that go out there and don't really teach nobody nothing that sucks. But if you got information that you can help somebody generate income, then yes, you should try it. Try it. You got nothing to lose. As long as you're giving people something of value, then there's no reason why you shouldn't get paid, make money on it. You're not a sellout. You're helping people. You're the opposite of a sellout.
Thank you, Ben. You inspired me so much, man, and thank you so much for taking my call. I'm going to make sure to execute on everything you just told me.
All right, you have a great time. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Ben. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. I guess you got no more callers. One more? All right. I don't care. I'm good till about, I don't know how long he's got. I know he wants to go play with his drone and watch speedboat races.
2 hours in?
2 hours in, I guess that's enough, right? One more call. Here we go.
I'm $1,000 an hour.
You
so,
are nothing.
man.
You get paid by chicken.
Hell no.
You're getting paid by
Not
fried
that
chicken.
I'll get KFC fried chicken, maybe.
Oh, bad number.
Hey,
bad
this
number.
has been
bad
Mallah
number.
calling. I'm
You
just
got
here
one
to
good
leave you
number
a
to pull out of
message.
your. I can't say anything about him. I'm supposed to keep him totally out of it.
Nobody knows him anyway. He's not even from this planet.
Well, at least he's working. He's dedicated himself to this. I can't even brag about you because you can't talk about it. Hello, hey, it's Ben and Vince on the podcast. How are you?
Oh, no way. What's up, Ben? How are you?
Pretty good. We're here to try to help you.
Wow, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, so my question was, so do you recommend getting started like smaller SFRs or multi-fam SFRs like duplex, triplex, or quadplex, or get like save up 100K or 200K and get into 30 plus or 20 plus apartment complexes?
You know, it depends. If you got the money to buy something small right now, you should always start off small because it's good experience. And then when you feel like, oh, I can handle these 3 or 4 units, well, let me go look for 10 units or 12 or 100. I mean, you should definitely start small and get comfortable with what you're doing, and you'll find all the bugs out. But, work with the money you got. Do whatever you possibly can do to get a deal right now. You know, have you gone to a bank and got pre-qualified or talked to any bankers about a loan?
Well, I'm a realtor myself, so I look for deals every day. I am ready to go, yeah.
You got money, you got banks, everything backing you up, then go for it. But just start off with a duplex. You're a real estate agent, so you already know. You know what's value. Find it. You're one step ahead of everybody in the business because you know the business. You know how to comp stuff out. You know what the rents could be. You got all the tools already. All you need to do is find a deal. Find a deal, whether it's a house. I don't care if it's a house, whether it's 2 units, 4 units, 3 units, whatever. If it's a deal, it's a deal. Buy it, fix it, rent it, sell it, refinance it. That's when everything starts cooking. But you got to get in that first deal. And if it's a small deal, hey, better small than nothing.
Wow, thank you, Ben. And also, so we just rent control came into place in my local market right now. So do you still recommend buying locally, or should I look somewhere out of state?
Where do you live?
Rent control. Huh?
Where do you live?
Sacramento, California.
Sacramento!
That's rent control, but
Man,
the rents are still way too high.
I owned about 1,000 units in Stockton once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was Stockton. I paid my dues in Stockton, not far from you. But let me tell you, listen, get into anything you can get into. I mean, you want to stay close to home because close to home, you can handle it. You can handle problems. You can touch your asset. You don't depend on other people. You want to be hands-on to really be in this business. So, and Sacramento is the capital.
Sacramento's got good prices.
And if you're in real estate,
California
go
right
out and find the best deal on the market and buy it. And then it opens you up to all kinds of options. Buy it, rent it. They can say, oh, maybe I'll refinance it. No, maybe I'll sell it. Oh, you got options. But do it today. Do it. Get on the MLS today. Go on any website and then you get and a lot of times you get half the commission when you buy it.
Oh, yeah. No,
so you get kickback money when you buy it. So you're really in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
All right, well, get busy. Let's do it.
Even with the rent control, you would still.
I don't know much about rent control. I left California 16 years ago. So I don't know. Does Section 8 apply to rent control? I don't think so. I think it supersedes, doesn't it?
No, it's so right now they did a statewide pretty much, so it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, but if you rent to a Section 8 voucher, I don't think rent control applies. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it. But a lot of times, if you accept a low-income or affordable housing tenant, I think you may get around that rent control. You need to ask a lawyer or somebody and find out for sure. Ask the housing authority. I don't know. But, you know, look into that. Look into the Section 8 program in Sacramento, definitely.
Okay, gotcha.
All right,
Hey,
good
thank
luck
you so
to
much,
you.
Ben. It was awesome talking to you.
Take care. Good luck.